It's coming down to the wire. Nationals is right around the corner. It's been a 7 month journey so far from when I started playing Redemption in 2024 to the present day. And I wanted to make a video that's kind of like a celebration, a look back, reflection about all that's happened and what the journey's been like so far. Well, we had a checklist, make a bunch of videos, learn the metagame, go to nationals. We definitely did the first two, made a bunch of videos. At this point, I'm getting pretty familiar and comfortable with the top decks of Redemption that are around. And so the only thing left to do on our checklist is go to nationals. And as you can see, today's the 23rd when I'm filming this, and nationals is on the 1st of August. My flight is on the 31st, so that's going to give me about 7 more days. It's just kind of crazy just thinking and saying that. It's really nice to have something to look forward to. And it's crazy that when it starts coming up on you so fast, it's just like, whoa, am I ready for this? So I don't know what to expect here. I'm really excited to get to meet all the friends I've met on Discord. I haven't actually met them in real life yet. And so I've just been messaging them. I only know them by their profile picture and their Discord username. So hopefully I'll be able to connect with people and get to meet them and hear more about their story. But I also wanted to talk more about how I got here to this point where we're on the edge of nationals and we don't know what's going to happen. I've definitely noticed a brain change for me. At first, it was very hard and overwhelming to think about redemption. Whenever I'd look at a new redemption deck, I'd instantly, feel overwhelmed because I'd never really seen all these cards before. Each deck was something new. Each deck has 50 cards plus a 10 card reserve from somebody coming in completely new and not recognizing or knowing what any of those cards meant. But like learning anything was an uphill climb. So over the course of these past 7 months, redemption has been a thing that's always been in the back of my mind where I'm thinking about it actively or, just in the shower, just kind of thinking about it and to the point where trying to sleep and it's 4 in the morning and I'm realizing, wait, drawing cards against the disciples matchups actually doesn't make my blocks better. So what's the point of drawing a bunch of cards? It's just like thoughts like that that are keeping me up at night. But I'm just amazed by the way God created our brains to be very plasticky. And it's cool having the feeling of going from complete incompetency in something to having a sense of, hey, I'm getting the hang of this and this is fun and I'm learning and I can take this and I can run with it. I'm just amazed by kind of brain power that God's put in us. It's definitely been frustrating along the way, especially because I think I have this strong internal critic who wants me to do better. And sometimes that voice is healthy and sometimes that can not be healthy at all. And so that's been kind of a tough thing to navigate for me. I think I've surpassed all my expectations about how well I'd be doing. But even then, it's like that voice is never satisfied. So it's something it's good to be aware of and label it. And then whenever that thought comes up, it's like, hey, you should be doing better, or you need to be doing better. I can instantly label those thoughts and then apply a more healthy paradigm to the situation. All this to say, my brain thinks about redemption almost all the time now. And it's a strength and a weakness, I guess. It's a blessing and a curse. So I wanted to share the 3 top things that have helped me in my journey this year. Number one is getting to play games on Lackey. That has been huge for me, especially at the beginning where people were being very patient with me, very gracious, always offering tips about how to get better. That was invaluable and still is. Number two, asking questions. Whenever there was a question about the rules, I would always ask on the Discord. And sure enough, Aggie would come along and answer. And the thing about redemption, like I said, it's the double-sided sword. On one hand, redemption is immensely deep and strategically interesting, but also on the other hand, it's quite complex and the rulings sometimes can be frustrating or non-intuitive. I felt like questions were the mechanism that I was able to use to get past kind of the surface level frustration with the rules and this feeling of, oh my gosh, I don't know any of the rules, to engaging in a system where the rules are something that make the game quite interesting and unique and fun. And lastly, it's been fun just to be a kind of a lurker on Discord for a long time and just kind of listen to what other people would say, what their thoughts were, what their deck lists are. If someone shares a deck list with you, that's like a form of them speaking to you. So whenever I see a deck list, I always try to sit down and look at it, listen to it, so to say. And so all the deck lists that Tyler Talks was putting out, those were the things that really helped me get going. From starting at zero to having something I can hold on to and start to interpret and make a paradigm about the redemption world. Tyler, if you're watching this, I am really grateful for the videos you make. Same with Jaden, same with Augur the Wise. Anyone who's ever put out some redemption content, I've probably watched it at this point. Z Temple, when you coming back? Anyways, all right, let's talk about some of the proudest moments of these last 7 months for me. So this whole genre of content creation and using creative outlet and speaking in front of a camera, this is all very new to me. And it feels good instead of kind of sitting there and spending so much of my life consuming content, but like nothing coming out. I felt like a very stagnant life, like the Dead Sea. Like a lot of stuff comes in, nothing comes out. And so this has given me an outlet of something that I can be excited about, be interested in, and be proud of to be a part of. Yeah, that's one of the things I'm really proud of. Just the fact that I'm out there. I'm not on the sidelines. That I'm just making stuff. Okay, there's another thing I'm proud of called Redemption Simulation, and it's a coding project I took on. And the idea was, how can I calculate the probability of certain things happening in Redemption? I was able to take some Python code and create a script that, when you ran it, would give you the outcome of a certain game of Redemption. And so I've been still working on that. So I could just put any Lackey deck list in here and run some code, and it'll give me all these statistics at the bottom. So I don't know if you can see this. Maybe that Windows is too big. But given this random deck list from Lackey, I can run 500,000 simulations of the game given this certain deck. And then it's going to tell me, on average, how many cards a Matthew drew off of it. And if you have Daenerys or 4 Drachma Coin in your deck, it can tell you what percentage of the time that you got to draw cards off of those on the first turn of the game. And it also tells me the percentage of times that I had no heroes on my hand on turn 1. And so I've been using this tool to kind of think about and kind of craft and improve the different types of decks I've been working on. So not only was this fun to make, it's just a fun tool to share with the community. I wish I had a better way to share that with people, like a website or something, but I'm not gifted in that sense of the word to create a website for people. Much more comfortable on the back end of the technology, not the front end. But there's always room for a future way that could be incorporated. I'm always down to learn something new. So yeah, if you're curious about this project and want to see more, or even you want to contribute or have suggestions, like let me know. There might be a bug in here too, but I love coding. So it's cool to take my love of redemption, my love of coding, and put them all into one thing. So something that happened kind of this last week and a half was I got to play in the Rob M Zoom tournament finals and then also in the Lackey Grand Prix finals. And the way it kind of worked out is I actually ended up winning both of the tournaments. It was just like, whoa, what, really? Really cool. Really good feeling. And so if you want to watch those, go ahead and check out my channel and you'll find the links to those videos there. My next video before Nationals will probably be talking about Nativity Harrods one last time, going straight into Nationals. Although part of me doesn't want to do that video because I feel like I'd be spilling all the beans right before the big day. So I kind of want to hold on to some of my secrets, not give everything away. All right, and the last thing I'm proud of is being able to contribute to this deck called Nativity Harrods. It started with an offense that Augur the Wise was really piloting and having great success with, and he was kind of playing it with black and gray. But I took it and I started playing with Harrods. I've been really pleased with how the deck's been working out, and it's like feeling like one of the strongest decks out there, which is amazing. And so it's cool to take an idea and keep working on it, keep tuning it, and ending up with something you're really proud of. So yeah, I'm also really proud of this too. Some of my favorite moments from these last 7 months was getting to go to Arkansas State tournament all the way in Arkansas. So I flew all the way out there, but I got to meet a lot of great people and make a lot of good memories. My favorite YouTube video was my Baboonie in the Wild video. A little bit of context, I guess I should say. This was a match I'd played against Flooded Red in Lackey Grand Prix 14, and it was a disaster, to put it lightly. I ended up making a calculated risk on the first turn of the game, but that it totally came up back to bite me and did not work out at all. And I felt so ashamed and felt, frustrated by that. And I kind of was talking to my brother about it, and he was saying, like, why don't you reframe it instead of being something you're frustrated about, something to kind of laugh at? And so I was like, how could we do that? And he came up with the idea of making a nature documentary because I'm a monkey. I was like, you're fun. Yeah, that'd be fun. And so I used my voice. I ran it through a David Attenborough AI filter, and I narrated. I wrote a script, and I narrated what was going on from the perspective of David Attenborough watching uh, me play.
Welcome to another episode of
Added a little bit of backing track
Today,
music.
we are observing a particular specimen known as the
I laughed
Buddhist
so much when I
image.
made this.
He appears to be participating in a ritual used to
It's a
rank
little bit
members of
long,
his
but
tribe. His
I think
opponent
it's funny.
is formidable. Surrenders. The final score
As you
is
can see at the end of the game, it's just like this versus this. It did not go well. And then I put some instrumental music.
reflect. Thank you for joining me for today's In the Field.
And the last thing I was super proud of, and I guess this kind of overlaps into a favorite moment, is being asked to help out with Land of Redemption. So I'm one of the editors on the site. I can help create articles and make content, making the site look nice and clean. And so if you haven't seen this website, just Google landofredemption.com. You'll end up on this beautiful landing page. If you go to the articles, you'll see a list of all the articles that are being from all the different redemption content creators out there. Every video that I do, I make sure to put a link here. So have multiple ways to find me. And I've also been making deck lists, any deck lists that are like from big tournaments. I compile them, put them in a Lackey, take screenshots of them, and make them available for text downloads here. So if you want to see that deck that kind of trounced me in the field, Jay did bring it back, a version of it at least. And check it out. Check out the spoilers tab. I just cleaned up the spoilers for the new set coming soon. I should probably be making videos about this stuff, but I guess preparation for nationals has been top of mind. But I started sorting all the new spoilers, so you can see card number 6, card number 7. So as new cards are added, I'll update them, put them in the list, and have them be nice and sorted for you guys. And I want this to be like the number one destination for people who want to keep up to date with the latest spoilers. So there's pros and cons to keeping the newest ones at the top as opposed to sorting them all. But anyways, that's a little bit of Land of Redemption. Thanks, Chad, for letting me do that. Just want to touch briefly on some of the hardest moments. Is like I felt like really frustrated when I would lose certain matches. I was very hard on myself, especially when I found myself making the same mistake like twice in a row. For example, I would play at a regionals tournament in Oregon and I'd miss my shield triggers and I'd miss my storehouse triggers and miss my Herod Temple block and then you're like, okay, we're learning. Everyone makes mistakes. And then going into like the Lucky Grand Prix tournament and doing the same thing there. It's like, oh man, am I ever gonna learn? It's easy to like be kind to yourself when you're like, oh, we're just learning. It's a lot harder to be kind when you're to yourself when you feel like you're not learning. And that's kind of messed up. So learning to have a little bit more compassion. Another moment that was hard for me was when I went to Arkansas for that tournament. I'd lost my voice completely. I could barely talk to people, which made it hard to connect. And I wanted to connect with people so bad and laugh with them and make jokes with them, and losing my voice there, and that was awful. And another hard moment was transitioning from this place where I felt super motivated to make one YouTube video every single day for, I don't know, how long was that? But we had this stretch at the beginning where I was like going back to back to back to back. All these videos just came one after the other. So I don't know. How do we at least 30, 36, like a whole month of like kind of doing that? And it was great. I felt so much motivation to do that. But then it just kind of dropped off and it became a lot harder to do that. And it was cool to recognize like, hey, if I'm gonna keep doing this, I'm gonna burn out. And so it's nice to like take a step back, but it's also hard to step back sometimes. And I used to be like really proud of like some of the ideas I'd come up with for videos, but now like my newer videos, it's kind of all the same. It's like gameplay and maybe like a talk about the metagame, more gameplay. It's just like I kind of missed the older me when I would interview people and talk about that, or have like a deck building with Tyler. or do more like master classes or learning redemption. Especially miss those deck techs that I used to do. I've been so focused on the competitive scene, it's like hard for me to get back into that. Oh, here's this new deck. Let me try this out. So I definitely plan to revisit deck techs some more once Nationals is over and people start brewing with the new Israel's Inheritance set. But anyways, I feel like I'm in a healthier place now as far as making videos and the pace of my content creation. I'm not as happy as with like the quality and variety of the content as I used to make, but you know, it's a season, comes and goes. I'm just grateful for the amount of motivation I have to keep going. And lastly, do I have any regrets about learning Redemption in 2024? Honestly, it's been one of the best decisions I've made for this year. That random decision in, December 2023, get playing Redemption with my brothers at Christmas because we got a box to like booster draft for fun, and deciding to like, oh, what if I just played played this game again, and what if I went to nationals? It's just like started with that simple thought. And I don't have any regrets about that. Although I feel like the one thing I do regret is not being always aware of the connections I can make along the way. It's so easy just to laser focus in on the competitive side and always talk about redemption, but losing track of the fact that there's really great Christians who play this game. And so something I like that Jake does, he's really good about asking like, "Hey, how are you doing? Like, can I pray for you after after we play a match or whatever?" And you don't get that in other card games. I feel like I tend to gravitate more towards the competitive talk and just the strategy and stuff. And I don't leave any room for compassion and love. And so that's something I want to kind of be aware of and make a little bit more room for moving forward. So, yeah, if I see you, hopefully we get to talk about something other than redemption. We get to talk about how we're doing, what your life is like, and all that. But I'm always down to talk about redemption. Huge thanks to everybody who has watched my videos, supported me, all my friends who don't even play redemption, but they subscribe to me and they watch my videos. Like, you guys are crazy. All right. And with that, I'm going to log off. See you at Nationals.